8:14 hours, South China Sea, 210 nautical miles west of Luzon. The sky was clear, deceptively calm, a soft blue stretching endlessly above the rolling ocean. Far below, two navies watched each other silently. On radar screens, tensions had been rising for weeks. U.S. satellites had tracked increased Chinese aircraft patrols, aggressive flight patterns, and electronic warfare signals where there should have been none. The world was watching, but no one expected today to be the day things changed. Above 32,000 feet, a United States Air Force F-35A Lightning II was on routine patrol, or at least that's how the mission profile labeled it. The pilot, call sign Falcon 3, monitored his systems, scanning airspace that seemed empty until it wasn't. 18-19 hours. First contact. A warning tone snapped through the F-35 cockpit. A radar ping, faint but deliberate, swept across the aircraft. Someone was tracking him, but not locking, not probing, just watching. Falcon 3's voice remained steady as he transmitted, "Unknown radar source identify. This is United States aircraft operating lawfully in international airspace." No response. Instead, the F-35's threat receiver displayed a new symbol, triangular, sharp, unmistakable, PLA J-20 stealth fighter, distance 78 miles. China's most advanced stealth aircraft. Another appeared seconds later, two J-20, on an interception vector. Falcon 3 steadied his breathing. This wasn't routine anymore. 08:23 hours, visual range. The first J-20 broke cloud cover, a black angular silhouette built for one purpose, air dominance. It approached in silence, flying parallel to the F-35 with unnerving precision. Falcon 3 waited for the standard radio hail. Nothing came. The Chinese pilot simply stared, helmet visor black, expression unreadable. A second J-20 lingered farther back, flying wide as if flanking. Falcon 3 reported, "Command, Falcon 3, visual on two J-20s. They're flying close formation. No communication attempt." A short pause. Then Command answered, "Maintain position, do not provoke. Record everything." 08:29 hours. The critical moment. The lead J-20 suddenly maneuvered back toward the F-35, descending fast, closing distance to under 500 feet. Too close. The F-35's targeting system automatically triggered defensive posture. The pilot had 1 second to decide, evade, or let the aircraft be rammed. Falcon 3 pulled hard right. At that exact moment, the second J-20 re-established missile lock. Two hostile positions, one F-35. And then, it happened. A bright flash erupted from the J-20's wing. Missile plume detected. A live round. 08:29:15, engagement. Falcon 3 spoke through clenched teeth. Fox 3, defensive fire. The F-35 launched an AIM-120 AMRAAM, a beyond visual range air-to-air missile, and simultaneously deployed countermeasures. 08:31 hours DAR. Command decision. U.S. Pacific Command issued a single sentence over encrypted channel. Return immediately. Do not engage further. Falcon 3 turned for friendly airspace, but the surviving J-20 followed. Not shooting, not communicating, just escorting. When Falcon 3 crossed the boundary, China claimed as its air defense zone, though the world did not recognize it, the J-20 ceased pursuit, then transmitted one final message. This is only the beginning. 8:47 hours, aftermath. Within hours, Chinese state media reported the U.S. had attacked without provocation. The U.S. confirmed a defensive engagement. Allies requested emergency briefings. Stock markets trembled. Military alert levels changed across the Pacific. Carrier strike groups repositioned. Submarines left silent patrol. Satellites adjusted orbital coverage. Diplomats called for restraint. Generals prepared for war. 11:02 hours. Pentagon, Washington, D.C. The Situation Room was silent. Screens displayed satellite feeds, radar maps, and intelligence overlays from across the Indo-Pacific. At the center of the room, a single red line flashed. Enemy aircraft down. Possible retaliation expected. The chairman of the Joint Chiefs spoke first. "We need confirmation. Did China fire first?" The answer was immediate. Yes, missile launch confirmed from J-20 tail position. Pilot responded defensively. Silence returned, because everyone understood what that meant. The United States did not start this engagement, but now it would have to respond to the consequences. 12-17 hours. Beijing, Central Military Commission. While the U.S. debated, China acted. State broadcasters announced a heroic Chinese pilot was killed defending national airspace from an American intrusion. Images of the pilot circulated across Chinese social media, accompanied by patriotic music and a single phrase, "We will answer." Public sentiment surged. Nationalist accounts demanded retaliation. Within hours, satellite systems detected movement. 3 PLAF air wings, including additional J-20s and H-6 bombers, were mobilizing. This was no longer just a border incident. It was momentum. 13:55 hours. Western Pacific. 2 U.S. carrier strike groups, USS Ronald Reagan and USS Carl Vinson, altered course, forming a defensive arc. More aircraft took to the sky. F-35s EA-18, Growlers for electronic warfare, E-2D Hawkeyes for early warning. The ocean surface churned with activity. Beneath them, submarines repositioned, the invisible chess pieces now in motion. 14:22 hours, the Spark radar operators aboard the USS Shiloh detected new contacts, missile signatures, multiple, fast-moving, in formation, not aimed at the carriers, but crossing into their exclusion zone. A message disguised as a warning. The U.S. Aegis system activated tracking. Alarm sounded across the fleet. A voice broadcast across encrypted channels. Unknown ballistic flight path. Possible anti-ship demonstration. Within seconds, U.S. destroyers prepared interceptors. The ocean became an arena of locked weapon systems. One wrong move, and the world would cross a line no one could step back from. 14:28 hours. The response. The missiles were not warheads, but unarmed carrier-killer test rounds China had used before. Their purpose wasn't destruction, it was intimidation. But the United States wasn't intimidated, it was provoked. The order came quietly, but firmly. Deploy countermeasures. Show capability. A U.S. Arleigh Burke-class destroyer fired 2 SM-6 interceptors. The sky lit up. One missile struck a Chinese projectile mid-flight. The explosion was visible on satellite imagery. The second U.S. interceptor maneuvered but did not strike, intentionally passing close. A demonstration in return. Not war. Not yet, but a declaration. We can stop you. 14:41 hours, communication attempt. Finally, after hours of silence, the first diplomatic transmission arrived from Beijing. Stand down. Withdraw aircraft. De-escalate immediately. Washington replied, "We did not initiate this conflict. We request immediate bilateral communication." But China responded with a single sentence. Dialogue will begin only when your forces retreat. Retreat meant admitting fault. Retreat meant accepting blame. Retreat meant losing face. And neither superpower was willing to lose anything, especially not now. 15:10 hours. The world watches. News networks broadcast live maps of ship movements. Stock markets trembled. Border militaries from Japan to Australia raised alert levels. For the first time in decades, headlines spread faster than facts. Is this the first battle of a new war? Commentators argued. Politicians blamed. Analysts speculated. But the truth was simpler and far more dangerous. Two nations built on power, pride, and precision warfare had crossed a line, and history has shown, once crossed, lines rarely disappear. 15:44 hours. On a secure frequency known only to air commanders, Falcon 3, the man who fired the first defensive shot, received an encrypted message. No name, no signature, just coordinates, and 3 chilling words. Phase 2 begins.